place where we can go and be alone. So come away with me.
Welcome back to Madison Farm, everybody. It's about, gosh, I don't even know the date, the 29th, 2 days away from Halloween. And we're looking at starting to clean out some different areas of the farm that, are going to be shown, when people come get their Christmas trees. One of those areas is definitely the cows area, the winter paddock. It's not disgusting, but there's a lot of loose hay. There's a lot of poop. There's a lot of things I got to get out of there. So we're gonna get the rake on here, the York rake. Go get in that pen, scrape everything together. Might not be able to get it all out today, but I'll at least get a couple of nice piles together where myself or Billy and myself can kind of tackle it and kind of add to the compost pile. So I do want to chat a little bit too. I've been watching a video yesterday of a homesteader. It's Justin Rose. Everybody knows Justin Rose if you're doing any type of homesteading. 99% of the stuff that he puts out, I love. And yesterday he touched on something that I've been waiting for him to talk about for a little while now, and he finally broke down and talked about it. I want to dig into it a little bit more deeper than what he talked about, because I think it's an issue with homesteading and with these cameras and what we show and what we don't show, and I don't think these homesteaders are showing the whole picture sometimes, including myself. So let's get the York rake on. Let's start doing some chores and let's dive into some things. While they're in season, I try to give as many pumpkins as I can to these pigs. It's a dewormer. They love them. They're relatively cheap. You can get them for really cheap after Halloween. It's always a lot of fun putting these things on. All right, we'll got that on. Let's go see if we can't get in there and York rake some of this stuff up. As you can see, it definitely needs some work in here. Not too bad though, but enough. Gotta get all that hay on the ground, get rid of that. Get them a new hay bale, I guess. I mean, they are going through hay like crazy right now. So before I leave, I'll definitely put a new hay bale in there. It'd be really nice if the doggies would go into where the cow area is so I can keep this gate open, but that probably won't happen. Made a bunch of piles here. This grapple seems to do fairly well with it. It gets a good amount. Now that I got them locked in over there, I can keep this gate open, go back and forth, and just get this done. So when I took over this farm, I wanted to buy a farm, and I wasn't sure if it was a Christmas tree farm or an animal farm or just a bunch of land that we could hay. I don't know what I wanted to buy. The Christmas tree thing kind of came about, so we did it. Now, when I did that, I tried to research as much as I could. We started watching, Woods Tree Farm. He's great in Virginia. Learned a lot from him. He kind of started his farm kind of close to mine, to be honest, but he was like 1 year ahead of me. I started following people like Pete from Just a Few Acres Farm. He was great. He was an older gentleman, but he kind of left the city life and left his big paying job to take over his family farm. There was Justin Rhodes, who again at first I didn't love, to be honest with you, but then I kind of took to him a little bit, and he's interesting. He's definitely a creator. Joel Salatin, he's a little out there for me, but I still learned a little bit from him. And all these people, Sow the Land, he's great. All these people that I watched who I just want to specify, like, I really like. And, 95% of what they do and what they say, I absolutely love. And I love watching them. It's actually the only TV I watch. But Justin Rhodes did something that I was kind of like, he's finally talking about some things here. And, it kind of got me thinking, like, what's real, what's not when you're watching these YouTube videos. From afar, it looks like it's all, peaches and cream and roses. It's not. So I want to talk about it a little bit to see kind of what your thoughts are. And are these creators just making a lot of money, or are they actually getting down, getting dirty, and working it? That was smart. That wasn't very smart. Decided to toss some square bales in here. I want to see if they really like that other hay that I've been giving them. They seem like they have, and it's all really like first cut, kind of bad hay. So it's funny, actually, one of the donkeys went out with the cows, so now it's just one of them there. Funny. Going back to my homestead talk, there's somebody else too that I really like. What's the name of their farm? More Than Farms. I'll put it up here real quick, but they're kind of the same way. I don't know if I buy it. Their video editing is really good, and they kind of have like you can tell there might be something there, and they blur out their kids' faces, which is fine, totally fine with that. Is their life that perfect? Because they make it out to be pretty perfect. Again, I'm not saying anything against these people. I know that, like, with Justin Rhodes and the people that I can't think of the name of, their kids are involved a little bit, but not too much. But Justin Rhodes' kids, they're I think 18 to 4 years old. Are they being forced to work when they really don't want to? Would they rather just be kids? Heck, would they rather have a freaking Snickers one of these days? I don't know. I know that, like, Justin Rhodes and his wife, like, they aren't the healthiest people. They're always sick. Something's always wrong with them. They go on 30-day fasts, and I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not putting anyone down. I'm not, because I really, really love their channel and I support them. And so I'm not putting it down. I'm just, this content thing and this YouTube and Instagram, and, you can make your life out to be pretty perfect. When is it really? Do sometimes we feel bad for the kids? I love Sow the Land. I love those two. He works his butt off, I can tell. And he's funny. But he has a girl that's, I don't know how old she is, 15, 16 years old. She looks miserable. Are we forcing our kids to do this stuff, or do they really want to do it? She is very concerned. Oh, look, the other one just came running back in here. Just as I turn that on. Square bales in here. They should be happy with this. Probably do one more of those cleanups before the season, because they do make a mess of things. Look at, they might be going back out there. Look at, is the other one gonna follow? Look at. Yep. I'm yard free. I go back to my kids. My kids don't love doing stuff with me on the farm. I can make them do some stuff, and they will do it, but I don't make them do too much. If it's nice out, I want to get them outside. I mean, if my kids didn't play a lot of sports and were on the move constantly, they would be working on the farm. You guys know I have restaurants, or they work in the restaurants. So I don't make them get up and do the eggs or stuff that they really don't want to do. They go to school. A lot of these people that I mentioned, none of their kids go to school. They're all homeschooled. Justin Rhodes' kids do play sports and stuff, which is cool. But the other kids, I don't know what they do for fun, or like who they hang out with, or what kind of like stuff that they're learning socially. So, and I'm not saying there's anything against homeschooling at all. I have a family member that they homeschooled their kids, and their kids are all fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't know about forcing your kids to do some sort of farm stuff or anything like that. Teaching them a trade and a skill is great. I mean, Justin Rhodes' older kids, they've been driving excavators, tractors, skid steers since they were 14 years old. and motorcycles, and my kids do all that stuff. People are amazed about my kids that they drive all the side-by-sides, the four-wheelers. They do all that stuff, and they're not scared of watching a cow die or processing chickens. So my kids are definitely exposed to a little bit more than other kids, but not to the level where they're going to hate it down the road. And Justin Rhodes, in his video the other day, kind of broke down a little bit. And it was the first time that he's ever kind of showed himself that way, of where he was like, the struggle is real with my kids. My kids basically saying, don't want to, he cuts out a lot. He's like, hey, come on, kids, let's go get chickens. And blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, he's doing it by himself. I'm guessing as his kids get older, his kids are pushing back a little bit more. I don't know what's right about that. Like, should he keep forcing his kids to do that type of stuff? I mean, that is their schooling, kind of, I think. I don't know. I'm so on the fence about it, I probably should push my kids more, I think, to be honest with you, but not to that extent. I don't know. I watch these videos and, they're all like just beautiful videos and nicely done. And, there's no drama and there's nothing. I mean, it's a constant fight at my house with some things. Tree season, I have to say, my kids are rock stars about. They get out there. They're doing the work, they cut their own trees down. They help people cut they help 50-year-old men cut a tree down because they can't do it. That's true. It's a true story. I'm not saying that they don't have a work ethic like that. They help when they need to help around the farm, but I'm not going to force them. I'm not going to let them go sit in the living room and sit on their iPads. They all have iPads. And I tend to believe that majority of the kids that we watch on YouTube with these homesteads, I bet you they have iPads too. So anyways, like I said, I'm not looking to bash these people. I still watch them. I watch every single video these people put up, and I'm going to continue to watch them. It'd be nice to show some real raw content. Yes, Justin Rhodes struggles a lot with health. He has a lot of health issues that he talks about. But what about the struggle with trying to get the 9-year-old to really help out and work and responsibility and what are the consequences if they don't work around the household? So anyways, I don't know, little rant, short video. I appreciate you guys. So happy we got this stuff done with the hay bale, because I am going away on Sunday, so I don't want to have Billy or Tally deal with that. And so let's shut that water off because that's overflowing. And hey, we're gonna see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching and supporting, and keep telling people.